give some background on the production process, the production process is generally 3 stages: pre-production, production, and post-production. So for pre-production, this is the planning phase. This is the planning phase. This is where you establish the objective for your video. This is where you plan everything out. This is where you decide on the themes, the style of the video, and you set the tone for production and post-production.
Out of the entire phase that we're going to talk to you about, this is the most important step. Everything starts here. This is the foundation of the pyramid. The more thorough you are in this stage of the production process, the better your video is going to turn out, because it affects everything after it.
Planning is key to every video.
So once pre-production's laid down, you've scouted your locations, you're going to have the production. And that's a very heavy, fast-paced day. A lot of stuff is going on. People want to make sure that they're getting everything that they need so that they can have the most compelling video possible. And one thing that happens during production a lot that people look over is the amount of time it takes to set up lights and cameras and sound and to move your talent around from location to location. Sometimes your subject isn't giving you the kind of information you need them to.
Do multi-takes.
Yeah, so you have to do multiple takes, and that requires more time. So be aware that the production day can move very, very quickly, a lot faster than you would think. And again, the better pre-production you have, the better planning you have, the more succinct and the better the day will flow.
Yeah, make sure you have the courage to speak up and ask for those multi-takes, because if you don't have what you need in the post-production stage of the process, then you have to go back and shoot, and that can be very expensive.
So this is the final stage where all of the elements come together in the production phase. All the interviews that you shot, the B-roll, the animation, the sound, the music, all that stuff comes together, and me and Bryce usually sit down, and the first thing we do is we go through all the interviews, and we find those succinct, beautiful nuggets that tell your company's message and your company's story in the best way possible. And once we have a nice rough outline laid out, we usually send that to the client, and they give us feedback saying, yeah, this story is exactly on par with what we do, or this is the message we wanted to tell. And the moment we get the go on that, everything complementary starts to come into the picture. And that's when we add in the music, and that's when we add in the sound effects and the pacing and the timing, and that's when you get a really compelling video.
Right. In order to create a successful video, the post-production stage, it falls back on the beginning, the objective, the planning. And we communicate heavily with Sarah, who produces pretty much all of the videos that we do. And Sarah does a great job of communicating with the client and also communicating with us everything that we have, all the tools that we have access to, so we know how to shape the message, so we understand the objective.
And editing is all about options. You want your editor to have as many options as possible, so that way he's not hampered when he goes to tell your story like, oh, I'm forced to use this shot because it's all we have. And again, that goes back to the pre-production. If you know what shots you need, you show up on production, you get what you need, you might even get more than you need, that's the best possible scenario. And then me and Bryce sit down and edit a piece that's really compelling and fascinating.
Definitely.